Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Hope you like, share, comment and subscribe because you know you love me and you love this personality and you keep coming back for more shit. So ensure that you subscribe to this channel and follow me on my socials, right, on both my business and my hair influencer page. So in today's video I'm going to tell you how I grew my hair from this barely shoulder length to waist length. So most of you guys know I own a natural hair care line, right, geared towards thickening, promoting hair growth and length retention, right, keeping the hair moisturized and hydrated. And I have a lot of clients that come to me and they're like, how do I grow my hair long? Like, I want my hair to be as long as yours. I tried everything, etc, etc, right? So I thought that instead of messaging these persons one by one, why not create a video where I can use as reference, right? So in this video it's not going to be as in-depth because I plan to do for each topic I'm going to go more in-depth, right? So but you guys can grab your pens and paper, right, and you can write down the topics that I have made and do your own in-depth research, because one thing I like is when you do your research, right? Don't take anything I say as gospel, right? I'm not a professional, I'm not licensed in here, and even if I'm licensed in here, like everybody here is different, right? Everybody experience is different and what works for you might not work for this person, right? But I digress. So let's get into the video, right? So tip number 1, learn your hair's porosity. Like, this is my number 1 tip. I wish that when I started my hair journey I learned my hair's porosity, because this was a game changer for me. Trust me when I say that it really and truly changed the game for me. So why is it important, you may ask? Because it helps you to know how to effectively moisturize your hair. Yes, so this tells you how to effectively moisturize your hair, the type of product consistency you should look for, because if you're low porosity it's harder to moisturize, right, because the cuticles are tightly closed. But once you know how to effectively moisturize your hair, chef's kiss, your hair stays moisturized pretty long. Alright, and then you have medium porosity where it's quite normal, it's in between, it's pretty much perfect. And then you have the high porosity where it gets moisture quick, but as soon as it gets it, it leaves it, right? Again, as I said, I'm going to go do a more in-depth video where I do demos and show you how you... Sorry, my camera cut off. As I was saying, how you can find your hair's porosity. So hair porosity is helpful because it guides you in the type of products to look for and stuff like that, right? And then my next tip is finding the right products that works for you. Everybody's different, right? And natural hair doesn't have to break the bank. Like, once you find the right products that work for you, you don't need to test anything else. If you want to, you can, right? But you don't have to. Not because your favorite influencer or guru or whatever says X, Y, and Z, right? You are the one that's supposed to know what you can and cannot afford, right? So natural hair really and truly doesn't have to be expensive. So knowing your hair porosity, then you're going to find the right products that work for you, find the type of products that work for you. Like, if you want to do wash and goes, if you want to do braid out, twist out, stuff like that, how to moisturize your hair, the type of protein treatment, and knowing your hair porosity tells you the type of shampoo to look for, because if you're low porosity, you're not necessarily going to always want to use a moisturizing shampoo. In my opinion, they're not necessary, because once you know how to moisturize your hair, you don't need a moisturizing shampoo. You just use a shampoo that's not going to strip your hair of everything of life itself, no, but a shampoo that is going to cleanse your hair, and then you can follow up with your moisturizing deep conditioner and then moisturize your hair. So tip number 3 is using the right hair tools for your hair. Like, natural hair is super curly and coily and kinky. You can't be using a fine tooth comb in your hair. You can't. You're causing unnecessary breakage. And one thing I should point out in this video, so important, is that your hair is always growing unless you have a medical condition, right? And once your follicles is alive, your hair is always growing. What we do when we buy products, right, and do the necessary techniques and tips that natural hair influencer and guru tell us to do, we are preserving the length of our hair, right? Our hair is dead. What? Yes, it's dead. Just like our nails, it's dead. It's dead, right? So once it's damaged, that is it. You cannot repair it. You gotta cut it. You have to cut it or it will travel up the hair shaft. So you have to ensure that you cut the damage. So what we do with all these tips and tricks and products is we try to minimize the amount of damage we are causing to our hair. So if you are using the wrong hair tools, you can cause unnecessary damage and unnecessary breakage. And when you do that, you won't see any length retention. The aim is to retain length, right? So our hair grows half an inch a month, half an inch, and if you're lucky you can get an inch a month, right? But the vast majority is half an inch a month, right? Imagine you only get a half an inch a month and you're using a small tooth comb to comb out your hair, right? Or you're using a comb but you're not detangling it properly. You're breaking off the little growth that you're getting. So that's why using the right hair tools is important. Ensure that you are using a satin or silk scarf at night time, because if your hair is rubbing against any other material like cotton, because my hair is on this right now, it's causing friction, like, and if I do this from time to time often, it's going to cause unnecessary breakage. My next tip is learn your moisture cycle and your protein cycle. It's all about protein moisture balance. If you master this, you have mastered the key to hair growth, because moisture is important, but that's not the only thing your hair needs. Your hair is made up of protein, right? So you need to incorporate protein in your hair from time to time. You need to know when to moisturize your hair, how often to moisturize your hair, so you don't experience moisture overload, right? Moisture helps to keep our hair elastic, meaning that it helps it to stretch and stretch and stretch, right? It helps it to be flexible, right? While protein helps to maintain the structure and integrity of the curl. It helps it to boing, bounce back. Like, look at that, bounce. Let's see it again. Boing, just like that. So you have to have a moisture protein balance. Again, I'm going to be in depth in another video, so don't miss it, don't do it. Ensure that you are subscribed. And my next tip is create a natural hair care regimen. My hair regimen is like a schedule for your hair. When to moisturize your hair, when you're going to deep condition with a moisturizing deep conditioner or a protein deep conditioner, when to trim your hair, how often you want to style your hair, stuff like that. This helps to keep your hair more organized so it doesn't get overwhelming, right? And when you do that as well, it also helps you to track your progress, so you can be like, okay, I did this last month and I saw great results, but when I did this month, I saw that I didn't like it. So when you have a schedule, you can look back and be like, I don't like that routine, right? And once you have a good hair care routine, Jesus can't hold you back. What must say? Cannot hold you back. Hair be at booty crack length, I tell you. Take it from me, facts, right? Once I mastered my hair care routine, I can even make it a lot simpler, and I won't have to be so long in my hair, right? Because I've learned my hair. So yeah. And my next tip is incorporate protective style. Like, I've been natural over 10 years, right? I know natural hair can be overwhelming from time to time. So when it gets frustrating for me, I take a break, right? And protective styling helps you not to manipulate your hair as much. The less you manipulate your hair, the better it is. But don't confuse it for neglect, because you have to take care of your hair. But our hair, you don't have to trouble it so often, you understand? So for example, if you do, I like to long-term protective style. Long-term protective styling meaning I can go up to 1 month to 3 months, right? Protective styling. I ensure that during that time I still moisturize my hair, I still cleanse my scalp, right? If I oil it, I oil my scalp as well, because you have to keep your hair moisturized and healthy, right? And before I do a protective style, I do a protein treatment. And when I take down a protective style, a long-term protective style, I do a protein treatment as well to keep my hair strong and healthy, right? So again, I'm going to go in depth. I also have a little video, talking about why your hair breaks in a protective styles, either on this side or this side. Go and watch it. You'll be amazed. Go and watch it, and grab your notepad and make notes, right? So yeah, protective styles are sent from heaven, and protective styles are like buns, braids, wig. When your hair is completely covered, like the ends is covered, that's a protective style, right? Again, I'm going to go in depth in a future video about the difference between low manipulation hairstyle and protective styles, right? The protective style is supposed to protect your hair. If it's not doing that, it's not a protective style. Cool? Okay. And my next tip is pay attention to your internal health. Like, when I tell you that you can be doing everything perfect with your hair, you could be on top of your moisturizing routine, on top of your protein routine, trims on point, plain in your ear, protective style lock, everything, and you're not taking care of your internal health, your hair is not going to flourish. your hair is dead. But when your hair is inside your scalp, it's alive. So think of it like a butterfly. Like the butterfly don't eat when it turns into a butterfly, but it eats all the nutrients that it needs once it's a caterpillar. So you have to ensure that you are taking care of yourself. Your diet is on point, and if it's not on point like mine, you take multivitamins and iron tablets, you know. I'll do a video more in depth about diet and hair growth. Trust me, I will, because it's needed, it's important, right? Yeah. And stress and depression can cause your hair to be weak and brittle and cause hair loss. Look at that. You see that? It might seem simple. Like, what is this girl showing me? You see that? Right here? Well, that's a mini bald spot. That's kind of growing in now because I'm using nature's natural remedies. Shameless plug, right? And this little bald spot is because of a little bit of stressing at work. Yes. That's why it's important to ensure that you are on top of your health. Health is wealth, right? Very important. So ensure that you are taking care of yourself, especially if you want to see good results. A word from the wise is sufficient. And my next tip is learn how to properly detangle your hair. This is what you call a mechanical damage, right? External damage that can be prevented. And I know, especially as Jamaicans, we tend to start from the root and come down. No, don't do that. I will make a designated video about how to properly detangle your hair. I personally prefer to finger detangle because I save more strands like that, but I will do a video outlining how to finger detangle and how to detangle using a hair tool so that you guys don't cause all that breakage, because you can be doing your protective styles and your deep conditioning and all of that, but all that inches gone down the drain because you don't know how to detangle your hair properly, right? You have to use products with slip, and if your hair is thick, you have to put it in sections. And like, guys, I got you. Subscribe to my channel and I can teach you. And what is for free? Free 99. Shameless plug. And my last and final tip is be patient. Be patient. Hair growth doesn't happen overnight. You have to be consistent with a hair care routine, and you have to be patient with your hair. You have to be patient. Like, your hair grow half an inch a month. You can't be like, oh, I'm not seeing the results, I'm gonna stop do this. No! Try it for the rule of thumb to see if something is actually working. Try it for at least 3 to 4 months. Then you will see a difference. Ensuring that you are taking pictures of before, right? And then after. You have to ensure that you are being consistent and patient. And when you are patient, it makes a difference because you reduce breakage. Don't do your hair if you're sad and depressed or in a rush, because you're going to rip through those beautiful, delicate strands. And when you do that, you're not preserving your hair. You're not going to see that retention. You're causing damage, right? Be patient and love your hair. When you stop seeing your hair like a chore, it stopped being a chore. Same like how when you go to the nail salon and you get your nails did. Treat your hair like that. You have to be patient when the nail tech is doing your nails, right? And when you be patient and you see the results, you're like, oh, you feel like $1,000,000, right? It's the same thing with your hair. love your hair, treat your hair good, and it will treat you good as well. Alright, so this is the end of the video. Again, as I said, for all these 10 tips, I'm going to go more in depth, right? Ensure that you like this video, leave a comment if you want to see the series, right? Follow me on my social media, and remember, I sell hair care products. Like, proof is in the pudding, guys. These people are seeing results, and they are good for children over the age of 3 years old as well, right? Shameless plug. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day, and don't forget that God loves you. Bye.